Dan, well, here we are, Insurtech Insights 2026. Please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Dan Woods, founder and CEO of Socotra.
Brilliant. Well, let's start off with, why you guys here. Tell us about the business, yourself, your background.
Okay. Well, that's a lot to talk about. Let's see here. Why we're here, the business and background. Well, we're here because this was one of the biggest insurance technology conferences in the country.
Yep.
And we've been coming here for, quite a while now. I think it's pre-COVID. It's been a while. We've been doing this conference quite a while. And in Europe, we were there too, in London, as we were last year. Socotra is modern policy administration and billing for insurance carriers.
Awesome. And what differentiates Socotra from other platforms that are out there right now?
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing, of course, I have a feeling you're going to come around to AI, but leaving that aside, and it will segue nicely into it when you're ready. But the biggest thing that separates Socotra in the industry is it's the first and only policy administration system that's been truly productized.
Yeah.
Meaning everyone's on the latest version, and it's true cloud. You're not really dealing with. We don't have version numbers that we're exposing to our customers.
Yeah.
The whole thing is fully documented. It's the only policy admin system that any insurer has ever just deployed themselves just by reading the documentation, like you can with like a mature piece of software. We do recommend that you work with someone who's done it before, like a Salesforce. Recommend you work with someone who's done it before, but there's nothing stopping you from reading the documentation and going through the Getting Started guide and doing it yourself. And in starting the company in 2014, it just seemed sorely missing that nobody had built just a mature piece of software for solving this problem for policy administration. It seemed like a massive gap. And we're the first policy admin company to start, as we started in 2014, to start post-cloud.
Okay.
Meaning we've never owned a server.
Yeah.
And we're the only ones that have made it mainstream. Like we're in every analyst report.
Yeah.
We're in 13 countries, 50 customers. We're the only ones to make it to that level to have never owned a server and have never had to retrofit in any way for cloud, as many of the others have. I call them legacy as a service when they end up doing that. And they all have at this point.
Amazing. I always like to focus in on like stories.
Yeah.
Could be good, could be bad, could be challenges that you've had along the journey.
Okay.
Can you give us any cool examples, interesting examples of case studies, stories?
Let's see. Well, I mean, we have had several customers take an eval license and just use it.
Yeah.
We offer that usually when we've talked with someone enough that we understand they're technically pretty proficient. Otherwise, it's like selling someone a piano and they come back and try to return and say, it doesn't work, I brought it home, it didn't play any music. It's like, okay, well, make sure they know how to play, make sure that they have some engineers that can understand documentation and such, but we have several that have done that, and some of them in surprisingly little time. Pivoting towards some of the AI things that have been going on, because the platform is configuration only, everyone on the same version. The difference between any two insurers or any two insurance products or geographies or distribution channels are a matter of configuration. Same as it would be for a Snowflake or Salesforce or Twilio or AWS or any grown-up enterprise software. Because of that, and because it's well documented, it's really easy for AI to read that documentation and create configurations. So just last month, we did a workshop in Philadelphia, and we had 8 different insurers there.
Wow.
For a 3-hour workshop.
Yeah.
And 1 hour of it was their hands-on keyboard portion for each of them. And every one of them 1 hour, and none of them really need the whole hour, every one of them was able to create their own insurance product in Socotra just by describing it to the Socotra configurator.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool one. I mean, you could vibe code a lot of things. But what separated this, other than how fast vibe coding, it's not going to go that fast to have a full policy administration system.
Yeah.
What separated it is the products they made are, in theory, they could go live.
Yeah.
There is no prototypey code involved there. Now, I recommend you test it first, have a human review it first, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But in theory, if it passed the test and so forth, it'd be ready to go. And they built it in an hour, less than an hour. All 8 of them succeeded in doing so. Oh. One of them just brought in their filings and just showed the filing to the AI, and it configured it right there.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of those stories like influence future products as well. Talk to us, what's on the horizon? What new products are you working on? What are you excited about?
Yeah, well, certainly AI is just going to continue to increase.
Yeah, 100%.
And we've taken a very specific strategy in the way we handle AI, which is, well, frankly, we handle AI the same way that we've handled software generally. Productization.
Yeah.
So, like, I was on stage a little earlier and talked about the Socotra assistant and asked, how many Gmail users in the group? Every hand went up.
Yeah.
Did you notice one day you're using Gmail and this little icon appears? What's that? That's Gemini. That's a mature software company shipping AI.
Yeah.
And that's the approach. We absolutely are an AI. We've created the Socotra assistant, and we're entering AI, or have entered the AI, the Socotra way.
Yeah.
It's available to all customers.
Amazing.
It is customized for nobody.
Yeah.
You have your custom prompts, just like your prompts are custom, your template documents, those are yours. That's your intellectual property. That's the thing that makes your carrier unique. But it's the same product that still upgrades every week.
Yeah.
So one thing that's unique, therefore by implication of what we've built, is that it keeps improving, it keeps getting better.
Nice.
So I can overhear the demo stage from here. Whatever they're showing, maybe it's great, I don't know, but there are a lot of things on that demo stage that are prototypes.
Sure.
And because of what vibe coding has done, is made it so you can't trust demos anymore.
Yeah.
Like, describe anything to me, I'll give you a demo of it tomorrow.
Sure.
So what can you trust?
Yeah.
Well, you can trust that things are actually productized.
It's true.
So when someone demos something for you, you don't just ask, is this in production? Because everyone's going to say yes, even if it's not.
Sure.
Even if they have something that is only vaguely similar in production, they'll say, yes, sure, it's in production.
Yeah.
Is this version in production?
Okay.
Is there a code identical product in production right now? Those are the sorts of the questions that carriers need to ask to tell what is an actual mature product and what is just some vibe coded demo or something custom that's going to have to be repeated for every carrier, which is going to take a long time, which is going to introduce problems for maintenance and so forth.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of where we're continuing to go.
Yeah.
Everything we release is mature products, and we're going to continue doing it, and our customers are going to continue to get improvements.
Yeah. It's super interesting, and I think for the carriers that are sort of watching this, how can they really spot those, or again, like what are the questions they need to be asking to?
Well, I just asked,
Yeah.
is this in production?
Yeah.
And even then, if you want to get around it just being an honesty test, because there are a lot of companies right now with names that end in .ai that are going to say whatever it takes to get that demo, to get that meeting, to get that contract.
Sure.
You need your own engineers to get their hands on it.
Yeah.
And see what they can do with it.
Okay.
They're going to tell pretty quickly, is this thing for real?
Yep.
Look at the documentation. Try setting it up for yourself.
Yep.
Use AI to set it up. Absolutely.
Sure.
But they're going to understand what the AI is doing. Is that AI changing the code?
Yeah.
In which case it could be introducing who knows what kind of bugs or whatever. Or is that AI just doing some configuration for me that's sitting on top of robust, documented, tested, debugged code that's in production?
So Dan, talk to me about your future predictions and go as far out in the future as you want. 10 years, 20 years.
Okay. 20 years, my gosh, I don't know.
It's a long time.
AI, hard to predict what's going on in 20 months. But I can give you some specifics.
Yeah.
I'll give you predictions in a few realms here.
Yeah, please do.
In the realm of the assistant, and we're not the only ones with assistants, they are all over the place. I think ours is uniquely productized and mature, but every 15 minutes someone's demoing an assistant over on that stage.
Yeah.
what it's going to mean for the insurance worker is a massive increase in productivity, as the assistant is doing the vast majority of the work, and the insurance worker is simply approving recommendations, giving feedback, handling corner cases, making corrections when necessary, which is exactly what you do with a more junior employee. But that's not surprising. Everyone knows that's where it's going. That's why everyone has an assistant. So everyone knows that's where it's going. But there are things that are going to happen to the enterprise that are going to be the effect of AI-generated code. So the first thing to recognize is AI-generated code. AI loves the same things that engineers have always loved. It loves documentation. Yep. It loves, obviously, performance and availability. It loves things that are readily understandable. It loves consistency. It loves access to data in all kinds of different ways, by querying, by event stream, by API call, Delta files to synchronize data lakes. Also, this is the stuff that engineers have always loved, and AI loves it too. And I think something that's happened is a lot of the technical decisions are made by people who aren't technical. And it may be the best system in the world for an engineer, but if the underwriter's like, I don't like that I have to click 3 times, and with the other one I only click twice, or those sorts of things. And I get it. They live in the world. They're purchasing based on the top of the iceberg for a lot of insurers, and ignoring the bottom of the iceberg that the engineers have to deal with. That's not every insurer, but it's a lot of insurers. The preferences of the engineer can be overlooked. But now that AI is in the picture, and we're doing AI development, AI is much more binary. An engineer, if you have to send an engineer to like complex training, for example, so that it can make sense of a product, the AI is not going to go to that training, for example. It needs documentation, and it needs or open file formats. Engineers like open file formats and open standards and things like that. And if it's a proprietary format they have to learn, they'll complain and they'll do it anyway. In the case of AI, if it's a proprietary format, none of the models are trained on it. So it's much more. If it would frustrate an engineer, it's going to stop AI. What that means is that the differences in quality level are going to be much more readily apparent, because the ones that have been made all along to be loved by engineers is going to be loved by AI, and they're going to be able to, insurers using those products are going to be able to move at a much higher velocity and much lower cost.
Gotcha.
And of course, what it means, I can go further on what that's going to mean for them. It depends on how far out you want me to go.
I mean, please do. Yeah, I think it's really interesting.
Where I think things are going to go is, we come from a place of big, monolithic insurance IT vendors that have ambiguous, amorphous products that are not well documented and need actual modification to deploy, which therefore makes upgrades inaccessible to them and so forth. I mean, everyone, all your viewers who are carriers are aware of that status quo. Where we're going is to a more best of breed approach of highly productized solutions. And we've seen this with, like, look around, you're probably using maybe Stripe, maybe Twilio. Of course you're using maybe an AWS or Google or Microsoft, probably using a Databricks or Snowflake. Very likely using Salesforce. Each of these components are well-defined, well-documented, and they can fit into a larger ecosystem, into a larger stack. And then the AI can connect to each of them because they're well-documented and so forth. And the insurance software is catching up, and that's obviously what we represent, is we are that catch-up. I'm sure others will come after us, and there have been some attempts, but they haven't made it mainstream yet. So what I'm seeing is that the role of the system integrator, for example, is going to be less about navigating the monolithic, amorphous soup of a single vendor. It's going to be more about curating which are the pieces of software that we want in here, and then creating the connections, integrations, and configurations around them, which AI can can assist with. And there's going to be a lot less fear about that customization because it can be rewritten so readily with AI, and the switching costs go way, 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 way down.
Yeah.
One of the reasons people have gone for these giant monoliths is that they're so afraid of lock-in and switching costs.
Yeah.
They're so afraid of that to them, the idea of doing it twice and making two of these things talk to each other is like unbearable. So that's changing.
Yeah.
The cost of migrating to another system is going down by, it's gone down to at least, for us, it's gone down for 25, to a quarter of what it was, and that's for deploying Socotra, which already was less than half of deploying legacy, and it's going to continue to plummet. And that's going to mean a lot more agility for the insurer to change their platforms when something else comes out that's better. Certainly going to be great for AI, and most importantly, it's going to be great for them being agile in their actual insurance operations.
Yeah.
So when they want to launch a new product, make a change to your product, react to regulatory change, do new pricing, take that product that they've been selling through agents and make it embedded through a partner.
Yeah.
Take the thing that's in 12 states and add 5 more states, those sorts of things.
Yes.
You'll be able to much faster, much more economically, with a much better, but much more economics also for, they're going to have better pricing because they can react much more quickly, and they can use the latest technologies for doing that. And it's going to be a really bright day for those who get it and decide today to build into the infrastructures that AI is going to need.
Yeah.
The worst thing an insurer could do today is to do a massive AI project custom build.
Sure.
Because that custom build is going to be based around whatever they think the best thing is today.
Yeah.
It's going to change. It's going to change. By the time this interview is published, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
It changes so quickly.
Yeah.
So to cement themselves in and start a massive project based on what? The AI of today is really not very smart. So instead to think about how are we going to make the data models accessible and buy into the right kinds of partners and vendors that are going to play well in that AI future. The insurers who get that right are going to be at a massive advantage.
So it's some really, really interesting insights there. And I think there's a lot to think about in the future. What can we do as organizers of events like this in the future to keep abreast of those challenges?
Well, stay up to date. You have all the technologies of the industry coming in here, coming through your doors, on display in their booths, on stage.
Yeah.
See what they're talking about. See what they're doing. Be aware. Don't just. And I know you're not doing what I'm describing here, but don't just sell them some stage space and walk away. Exactly. Watch what's going on and have a thesis. When you're putting panels together, thinking about what is the right combination of people that's going to bring the dialogue in directions according with the thesis that you form as someone who gets to hear everything.
Sure.
Because people come here for, well, a variety of reasons. I know why us vendors come here, but carriers come here because they want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they need to find some way to sort through it and understand what direction are things moving in, so they know how to orient themselves.
Yeah.
And I think having a thesis about that and having coherence in the various sessions, one to the next, which I am seeing. To be clear, but I think that would play very well for the carriers that I've spoken with.
Amazing. And well, first and foremost, want to thank you so much for being a part of the event as well. Lovely speaking to you, and look forward to what the future holds for Socotra.
Great.
As well.
It was great meeting you too.
All the best. Thanks.
All right.
Cheers.
Take care.